for the Special Select Committee to commence business. Good afternoon, Mr. TABALLY. Good. Honorable colleagues, earlier on, we have the agenda. Could we adopt the agenda as it is before we move into? Yeah, it has been moved and seconded that we adopt the agenda. Quick introduction as well, Honorable Abdullah Sise, Chairperson of the Special Select Committee.
Honorable Madi Sise, Vice Chair. Honorable Sirif San, Member. Honorable Alhaji Mo, Member.
Good. We have one of our colleagues, we step out, he'll be coming soon. Counsel?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Good afternoon. My name is Ajisenika, and with me on my left is Mr. Lamin M. Diba, and on my right is Mr. Tony F. Mendy.
Thank you, Counsel. Good. Good afternoon, Mr. TABALLY. On behalf of the Special Select Committee of the National Assembly, I welcome you to this sitting conveyed to inquire into the sales and disposal of assets identified by the Commission of Inquiry into the financial activity of public bodies, enterprises, and offices in relation to their dealings with the former President Yahya Janneh. You are appearing today in response to a summons duly issued to you by this committee to provide testimony on matters within your knowledge and that are relevant to the subject of our inquiry. Please be reminded that you are appearing under oath and pursuant to the provisions of the 1997 Constitution. We appreciate your presence and expect your utmost candor and cooperation throughout the proceedings. This is your first time to the National Assembly, right? Okay, thank you. Secretary, can we administer the oath before we get into?
I, Sheriff TABALLY, do solemnly, and sincerely, truly swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you, Mr. TABALLY. Counsel?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Thank you. Welcome once again. Kindly state your full name and current designation for the record.
I am Sheriff TABALLY, Sheriff B. TABALLY, Judge of the High Court of the Gambia.
Thank you, Justice TABALLY. Maybe kindly clarify to the committee the location that you sit at. The court, you're sitting at the High Court, we know, but where exactly?
Brikama High
in
Court.
Brikama.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So before we get into your testimony, there's just going to be a few things for you to confirm.
Yes.
I'll put to you and you confirm for the committee. Did you receive a summons to produce documents in your custody for the committee?
Yes, I did.
Did you submit documents?
I did submit documents.
All right, thank you. Did you receive a summons inviting you to give a statement to the committee's panel of investigators?
Indeed, I have received.
Did you give a statement?
Yes.
Thank you. Did you also receive a summons to come and testify today?
Yes, that's why I'm here today.
Yes, all right. So, Honorable Chair, the witness gave a statement to the investigators, and applying here for the statement to be marked SBT 1A. Yes, 1A. All right, thank you, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, the witness also submitted documents to the committee. And before we proceed with his testimony, you can just mark the documents accordingly for ease of reference. Honorable Chair, the documents are actually pre-marked, and we can just go and I'll go ahead and just state them for the record. We'll start with the cover letter that is addressed to the Clerk of the Assembly, dated 30th May 2025. It is marked SBT 1. An order of the High Court issued on the 21st day of July 2017 can be marked as SBT 2.
Counsel,
Yes, please.
are we on the same page? Is it the same? Is it this document? The one that is pre-marked? Or is it the other one?
Okay, so my cover page looks a bit different from yours, but maybe turn to the second page. Let me. If you can just. No, we're using SBT, not OHS.
Oh, SBT.
SBT, yes. The cover page for SBT is a letter addressed to the Clerk of the National Assembly. Not SBS, SBT. Yes.
SBT.
All right, Honorable Chair, so maybe let me just continue and just announce the marking.
Please proceed, yes.
And
Proceed.
then
We can work on that later.
when we, yes, let me just announce the markings. But just to guide the committee, the documents contained in the binding marked SBT are almost identical to the documents contained in OHS. Yes. The markings, we just want to mark to personalize it to the witness and just identify them with the witness, considering they were submitted by him, but these same documents have also been submitted by the Office of the Honorable Sheriff. So they're basically the same. All right, let me just continue and announce the markings for the record. An order of the High Court issued on Monday, 21st day of July 2017 is marked SBT 2. An order of the High Court issued on the 22nd day of May 2017 is marked SBT 3. An order of the High Court issued on the 3rd day of January 2018 is marked SBT 4. A letter on the letterhead of the Office of the Sheriff dated 26th of March 2018 titled The State versus Al-Haya AJJ Janneh HC/68/17/MF/056/F1 and bracket sales of livestock SBT 5. Statement of account from Trust Bank Limited is marked SBT 6. a notice of an order of court from the on the head of the office of the sheriff dated 1st June 2017 is marked SBT 7. Title of that document also states, in the matter of Attorney General and Alhaji Yahya A.J. Janneh. SBT 8 is a document dated 1st of June 2017, also titled, in the matter of Attorney General and Alhaji Yahya A.J. Janneh, in bracket, notice of an order of court. These are all the documents that the witness has submitted to this committee.
Counsel, just to clear, we have the documents as well.
Okay,
We have them.
all right.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. Thank you. We can now get into the witness's testimony, Honorable Chair. All right. Okay, thank you. Now that we have confirmed that you have submitted documents to this committee and that these are all the documents you submitted, just a quick question before we proceed. Are these all the documents in your custody with regards to the transactions relating to the sale of livestock belonging to the former president?
These are the documents that I submitted that I retrieved from the sheriff's office.
So these documents, when you received the summons to produce, you went to the sheriff's office and obtained them?
To obtain, yeah.
Are there not any other documents?
In my personal custody, no.
Okay. And at the office of the sheriff, these are the only documents you found there?
These are the documents as well.
Okay. We can continue. Can you kindly state for the record the day you were appointed or the date of your appointment as sheriff of the High Court?
15th of May, 2015.
All right. And how long did you hold that position? How long were you in office as the sheriff?
Up till I served as sheriff up till the 17th of July 2019.
17th of July
2019.
2019.
Yeah.
All right. Meaning a little over 2 years.
2019, from 2015.
2015, okay. Not 27, 2015, so a little over 4 years. All right, thank you very much. So before we proceed any further, kindly give this committee a brief overview of your academic and professional background.
Following my primary education in Sukuta, I did my O-level through St. Augustine's High School, O-level.
Sorry to interrupt you. Can you get closer, move closer to the table, or you move the,
Sorry.
you can also move the mic to the edge of the table,
Okay.
that way, yes.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Please continue.
Okay. I graduated at the second high school in 1987, proceeded to GTTI where I did a diploma, and subsequently I enrolled at the School of Nursing briefly, and then for personal reasons I quit. Then I joined the civil service through an appointment by the PMO then. I was sent to the judiciary as a clerk of court in March 1990. I served as a clerk until September 1995 when I left to pursue a degree in law in UK. Specifically, I was enrolled at Holborn's Law College in 1995. After my diploma in law, I was enrolled at the University of London Guildhall University, now called London Metropolitan University. Upon my graduation with LLB honors in 2001, and on my return in the Gambia, I was appointed as a first-class magistrate in May 2005. I served as a magistrate in various jurisdictions, including the provinces, Brikama, Kanifing, Banjul, Bundung. Subsequent, as a provincial magistrate, thereafter, I was enrolled at Sierra Leone Law School to pursue my BL. That was in 2009. On my return, I was assigned to Bundung to oversee Bundung Magistrates Course for a brief period. Then I was later posted to Kanifing, where I stayed. I was later promoted to principal magistrate, where I stayed up till my appointment as sheriff in May 2015.
Very well, thank you very much. Justice Tabally, let's go back to the period you were appointed as sheriff.
Yes.
And before we get into mostly the activities that has warranted your appearance here today,
Yes.
Can you just give the committee a brief overview of the functions and mandate of the Office of the Honorable Sheriff?
Generally, the sheriff is mandated to enforce orders and judgments of courts, and then generally to oversee and supervise, delegate functions to the bailiffs attached to the sheriff's office to carry out certain enforcement or executions, and then as well as the process servers to generally supervise them in consultation with the general administration of the judiciary.
All right, thank you very much. Now we will get into the substantive part of your testimony.
Yes.
I believe the Secretariat has provided you a copy of your statement.
Yes.
It's before you?
Yes.
Okay, and a copy of the attachments or the documents that you've submitted to the committee.
Yes.
All right. You have them with you now?
Yes.
Okay. Justice Tabally, kindly confirm for this committee whether or not you are aware that in 2017, prior to the establishment of the Janneh Commission, the government of the Gambia took efforts to preserve the assets of the former president and his close associates, and in doing so instituted a suit in the High Court against the former president through the Attorney General. Are you aware?
I'm aware. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Are you also aware that on the 22nd day of May 2017, the High Court of the Gambia issued an order freezing the assets of the former president, but also placing different assets in different categories in the hands or in the custody and control of different institutions?
Yes, I'm aware.
You're aware. All right. Take a look at the document marked SBT3. This is the order of the High Court issued on the 22nd day of May 2017.
Yes. Yes, I've seen.
All right, thank you. Maybe just take a look at the second page of the order,
Which paragraph?
paragraph 4.
Yes.
You don't have to read it out. Just take a look. I'll give you a few seconds to do that, and we can continue. All right. So I believe you have seen a copy of this order before.
Yes.
Okay. Let's move on to the notices dated, or the notice, there are two notices dated on the same day, but their content is different. The first one is marked SBT 7. It's a notice dated 1st June 2017.
Yes, I have seen.
Yes, the first one is titled "In the Matter of Attorney General and Yahya AJJ Janneh,"
Yes.
in bracket, notice of an order of court.
Yes.
Actually, they both carry the same title, but the first one, it's addressed to all servants, agents, associates, all concerned.
Yes.
And this notice was prepared and signed by you.
Yes.
Very well. Can you just kindly explain to this committee what the purpose of this notice was, and also the addressees, all servants, agents, associates, all concerned? Who in particular was this notice addressed to?
This
Specific people, please.
it would refer to people who might have been concerned with the control or custody of the assets subject of the application or the order.
All right. Kindly, we were still looking at the first one.
Yes.
The beginning says, following a grant of an order, and then there are 2 points.
Yes.
There's paragraph 1, paragraph 2, number 2. Kindly explain the purpose of this order. On whose directions or instructions did the office of the sheriff issue this notice?
Following the issue of this particular order, it was presented to me, I believe, by the then receiver at MOG, Ministry of Justice, with the aim of assisting them to implement or to have effect of this order. So they requested for us, as our usual practice, where such orders are issued, the sheriff would bring to the attention of those concerned or those who need to comply with the order. We need to bring it to their attention. It's not something that you can execute, so you necessarily have to put it to their attention. So we were requested by the Ministry of Justice, I believe at the time, the then receiver, who requested for us to assist them to bring this attention, to this notice of this order to the attention of those concerned. So it was on that request that I specifically wrote this letter.
You mentioned the receiver from the Ministry of Justice.
Yes.
Kindly state the name of the receiver, please.
At the time, Mr. Ali Jallo.
Mr. Ali Jallo,
Yes.
who was the Registrar General at the time. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you. You also mentioned the request was made by this receiver.
Yes.
Was the request written? Was it a written request that came from the Registrar General to the Office of the Sheriff?
I can't recall, but I think if my recollection is right, I stand to be corrected, but this was a verbal instruction, because ordinarily, even without him requesting for it, if an order is issued, it's the mandate of the sheriff to put it to the attention of those concerned or who need to comply with the order. So I stand to be corrected, but I think it was verbal.
All right, so essentially you're telling the committee that Even if a request was not made by the Registrar General at the time,
Yes.
the Office of the Sheriff would have still made such a notice.
If it is
Prepared-
if the order is brought to our attention,
Ordinarily, who should bring such an order to your attention?
mainly is the registry or the principal registrar of the High Court. If following an issue of an order, that is general practice. But often it is brought to the sheriff's attention by the applicant or the beneficiary of the order.
Okay.
Yeah. What is within the mandate of the principal registrar of the High Court to bring all orders to the attention of the sheriff for enforcement.
Okay. Thank you. You had mentioned earlier that part of the duties of the sheriff includes supervising process servers.
Yes.
When this notice was prepared, by the way, just to clarify, the process servers that you've mentioned, are these process servers specifically attached to the Office of the Sheriff? Those are the ones that the sheriff would supervise, or all process servers working within the judiciary?
All the process servers.
All the process servers.
They are
Thank you
within the
very much.
purview of the sheriff.
Thank you very much. So therefore, my question is, after this notice was prepared, was it printed and given to these process servers to circulate, or did you just prepare, keep a file copy and then give the other copies to the Registrar General, considering he was the one that made the request for the notice to be prepared?
I believe at the time the Registrar General was working with one Modu Musa Sise, who is doubles as a bailiff, but he is working with the special task force. I don't know how he came to be appointed or how it was recognized or identified, but I have no role in that. But he was working and he collected all these processes notices from me with the assistance of Mr. Jallo with a view to serve them. But not necessarily, they were not necessarily served by any other process server, if my memory is right.
Okay, so a bailiff working under the Office of the Sheriff
Yes,
was part of a task force
yes,
set up at the Ministry of Justice.
yes.
Is it normal practice for members of staff of the Sheriff's Office to be selected and appointed to be part of task forces, and then the sheriff will not be notified?
It's not usual for a task force, in fact, for a sheriff to be co-opted to be a member of any task force. In my tenure as sheriff, the only task force that I was part of is the Berending Gunju land dispute, where I was specifically identified as sheriff to be a task force. But other than that, this is an exceptional circumstance where I don't know how he came to be identified to be part of that task force.
Justice TABALLY,
Yes.
Modu Musa Sise,
Yes.
he was working under you at the time,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
When did you learn about his membership to this task force at the Ministry of Justice?
I remember it must have been shortly after he was working with Mr. Jallo, going to places, and specifically when they requested for these notices to be issued.
That is when you learned about it?
Yes.
What was your reaction when you learned that staff working under you was part of a task force that generally is not part of the practice and operations of the Office of the Sheriff?
I recall I spoke to Musa. He said his response was, I think Mr. Jallo had requested for him his assistance because of his expertise as a bailiff attached to the sheriff, for him to assist him. But it was never formalized.
It was never formalized. And did you ever raise this issue with Modu Musa?
No, unfortunately, no.
You did not?
I did not. I thought because he was doing a service in the name of the state, that's all.
generally, employees of the judiciary that work under the office of the sheriff, are they in a habit of, or do they usually work with ministries or the state departments without informing the sheriff himself?
This is the only instance.
This is the only instance that it happened,
yeah.
and you did not query it.
No, I did not. I did not.
You did not find it necessary to query?
Like I said, I thought he was serving in the interest of the state to assist Mr. Jallo to serve these notices.
All right. Mr. Cese's participation in this task force, did it ever affect his duties at the office of the sheriff?
No, not at all.
In no way?
No, no way.
All right, thank you. Let's move on to the second notice, also dated on the same day. This one is, it is marked SVT 8, Honorable Chair. Justice Tabbaly, this notice is also, it's dated 1st of June 2017. This time addressed to all staff and servants. The content of the the content of the notice are different, right? You said the first one was requested by the Registrar General. Who requested for the...
Sorry, let me just...
Okay, all right, I'll give you a minute.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yes, please. You stated that the first notice was prepared at the request of the Registrar General at the time.
Yes.
Who requested for the preparation of this notice?
If I can remember, I think it's Augustus Prom. Their representatives were in my office at the time.
So Augustus Prom representatives walked into your office and requested for such a notice?
So yeah.
Did they not make a written request?
Like I said, the first one, this was also, they were present to us that they have, I believe, they merely reminded me that I am aware of an order appointing them as receivers. And so they want to take, I think, custody of all these assets on their purview. So, sought for my assistance how to implement that. So, as a result, I issued this notice, but it was not on a written request.
Okay. Was Modu Musa also involved in the procurement of this notice, like the other one?
I cannot, no, I don't think he was involved in this.
He was not involved.
Yeah.
Sorry, before we just get further into this notice, after Modu Musa, or when Modu Musa was going to these...
Can I clarify something here? I may have directed these notices to be issued, but certainly the signature there is not mine. It was issued by, maybe under my instruction, the then deputy sheriff at the time, signed for me. No.
Are you saying that both notices were signed by a different individual?
No, the first one was signed by myself.
Okay, so the second one, okay, all right. That's fine. So just before we get further into Augustus Prom and the request, I'm just going to go back to Modu Musa a little bit. After Modu Musa accompanied the Registrar General on his various visits and the meetings he was attending at the Ministry of Justice, was he reporting back to you about all these activities that he's taking part of?
Only except on one instance where he expressed the challenges they had in accessing one of the properties occupied by one, I think, Isa Fati at the time.
Okay, that is the only time he ever mentioned
Anything. Okay.
So, from what you stated so far, it seems that Modu Musa was acting on his own accord, or was he reporting to somebody else within the judiciary?
Ordinarily, his line of reporting would be directly to the sheriff. But like I said, the only instance I knew of his activities is only when he reported the challenges they face in accessing the property occupied by the said Isafat.
So, Mr. Jallo, the Registrar General,
Yes.
has given a statement to this committee, and with regards to the task force, and he has listed the different institutions and stakeholders that were part of this task force.
Yes.
And he stated the Office of the Sheriff for enforcement assistance. That is why the Office of the Sheriff was co-opted into the task force, and that Modu Musa, he's confirmed that Modu Musa was the one that was representing the Office of the Sheriff. It's a little bit concerning that the Office of the Sheriff was being represented on a task force without the Sheriff being aware that such a task force existed, and then it took a while that this task force was carrying out duties that it was supposed to carry out, and it took maybe a few months, actually sorry, not a few months, but it took the request for this notice and also subsequent report of Mr. Cisse with regards to the challenges they were facing with eviction. Now, that was the only time you became aware of his participation, or should I say his appointment to this task force?
Yeah. In the first place, the establishment of the task force itself, I was not even aware formally, officially. So I only became aware recently that there was a specific task force set for that. But I know that Modu Musa was working with him. Whether it was from part of a task force or not, I was not aware. I thought Modu Musa was only merely helping at the time, or assisting him. Also, I don't know the role Modu Musa was playing there, except on my own instruction, only with respect to the service of the notices alone.
All right. Let's go to the second notice. You're already there.
Yes.
That the one that was requested by Augustus Prom.
Yes.
Were you present at this meeting Augustus Prom had at the Office of the Sheriff, where they came to request for such a notice?
I was there. Yes.
You were there, but
Yes.
you did not sign the notice.
Yeah.
Okay.
In fact, the notice was not prepared on the very day of when they came. I merely gave, I think I have other assignments, and I must have instructed the Deputy Sheriff to issue this notice on their behalf.
All right. So, can you kindly explain to the committee why these notices were prepared without written request?
Like I said before, it's within our mandate as sheriff Office of the Sheriff to assist in the implementation of court orders and judgments. So it's not usual for the Office of the Sheriff to be written to request for enforcement of orders. The practice by all lawyers is to present the specific order to the Office of the Sheriff to say that I bring to your attention this particular order or judgment that needs to be enforced. But to be sent via a letter or to specifically request for it to be enforced is not a usual practice at the Sheriff. Maybe it might have changed now, but then it was not the practice.
Okay, all right, that is clear. So these two offices, the Registrar General and Augustus Prom,
Yes.
did they bring along a copy of the order, or you already had a copy of the order, so you are not?
We already had.
You already had a copy of the order?
Yes.
All right. Also, with Augustus Prom, after the, I asked before with the Registrar General, after preparing and giving the notice to Augustus Prom, were they ever accompanied by anyone from the Office of the Sheriff to serve this notice to?
I believe
the
I have assigned a process server at the time assigned to the Sheriff, Office of the Sheriff.
Okay.
Yes.
Was assigned to work with Augustus Prom?
I specifically assigned one process server to accompany them to serve these notices because Augustus Prom ordinarily would know the location of these properties.
Okay. Yeah. How come a bailiff, or sorry, a process server was assigned to Augustus Prom, but a process server was not assigned to for the purposes of serving?
Serving, okay.
Yeah, I don't mean assigned to work there.
Okay.
But for the purpose of serving, why was a process server assigned to Augustus Prom and a process server was not assigned to the Registrar General?
Like I said before, orally at the time, the Registrar General was working closely with Modu Musa. So equally, Modu Musa had risen from being a process server. So he would have had the experience of how to effect service of notices. So there would be no need to assign him when he is already present because it will incur cost to assign them a process server whilst they are already working with Modu Musa.
Okay, all right. Let's move ahead. So after obtaining a copy of the High Court's order,
yes,
of 22nd May 2017, was a file opened for for that case? Was a file open where the order was kept, and did you expect that there would be subsequent correspondences or processes that needed to be kept in said file?
All documents related to this particular case must have been kept in one single file. In the Sheriff's Office, you create a file called execution file following an issuance of an order or judgment. So we create our own file. We put all these documents that are related to that particular case in that file. So it would have all these documents would have been in that particular file.
Okay. So each time there's a case that requires enforcement, a file would be opened.
A new file would be opened specifically for
with the name of the case and the suit number.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this instance, was this done?
I believe it was done.
Justice TABALLY, I want us to move forward, but I just need you to confirm to this committee whether this was done or not.
I said I believe it was done.
It was done?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I requested for this document that were requested, so when I produced this document that were, I believe they must have been emanated from that file.
Okay. And when this particular file was opened, we can say that one of the first documents that was placed in it would be the order of the 22nd of May.
Yes.
Thank you. In this same suit, that is the Attorney General and Alhaji Yahya Janneh, another order was issued by the High Court in 2017.
Yes.
It is dated, let me get the date correctly, but it's July 2017. I think it's 21st July 2017. It is part of your submission.
Yes.
It's marked SBT 2.
Yes.
You've taken a look at it?
Yes.
Very well. When this order was issued, was the Office of the Sheriff also notified through the Registrar of the High Court?
I believe this also was presented to this Office of the Sheriff at this time.
Okay. Part of your submissions,
Yes.
before we even get to your submissions, after the Office of the Sheriff received this order or became aware of this order, did the Sheriff at any point issue notices as well?
In respect of this order?
Yes, like it did for the first order.
I cannot recall in respect of this particular that I issued any notices.
Okay. All right, I think we can now move on. There's another order, part of your submissions.
Yes.
This one, the Office of the Sheriff is specifically mentioned. Maybe I should state the date of that order. It's the order of 3rd January 2018. It is marked SBT 4, Honorable Chair. Yes. It's
Yes.
You have a copy?
Yes, I have.
Okay, great. Before we get into the details and specific paragraphs of this order, Justice Tabally, I'd just like you to tell the committee whether or not, before this order was issued, by the way, this order was delivered, it's actually a ruling, not an order, sorry. This ruling was delivered pursuant to an application made by the Attorney General's chambers. Prior to the Attorney General applying to the court for this ruling and its contents, did the Attorney General ever approach the Office of the Sheriff to inform the Sheriff of its intention to make an application to the High Court to obtain this order?
No, I was not even aware.
So the Office of the Sheriff was never in contact or shared correspondence with the Attorney General
With respect to this application?
to this order?
No.
All right, thank you. So after this order was obtained by the Attorney General's
Yes.
chambers, and this time this order, unlike the other two, specifically mentions the Honorable Sheriff
Yes.
and also has outlined actions that the Honorable Sheriff should take. Who communicated this order to the Office of the Sheriff?
I believe it was Mr. Jallo who presented it to the Office of the Sheriff. Although at the time I was not at work, I had communicated with the staffs there. Mr. Jallo personally, even I spoke to him on the phone. I said, just go and present it there. They will do the needful.
Okay, and you've taken a look at this order.
Yes.
What do you mean by the needful here?
Like if an order is presented to the Office of the Sheriff of this nature, there are certain procedure that they would ordinarily follow. Open a file. Generally, in enforcement of court orders, if it requires the subject of the application, if it is depending on whether it's movable or immovable. In the case of a movable, you'll be taken to the site to identify the particular property or that needs to be attached. But this one, it is not something that we attach. So ordinarily, the needful here would mean the procedure that they need to do as a prelude for the sale itself.
You stated that ordinarily the property would have to be attached.
Yes.
But this was not necessary in these circumstances?
No, there was no requirement for an attachment
An
here.
attachment.
Yeah.
Speaking of requirements, let's go to the second page of the order.
Yes.
All right. Justice TABALLY, towards the end of the order,
Yes.
or towards the bottom, there's a list. The application was granted, and then the court made several orders here,
Yes.
or granted leave, and then ordered for actions to be taken.
Yes.
Kindly read out paragraph 3 of the order, paragraph 3 and paragraph 4.
The Honorable Sheriff of the Gambia is ordered to conduct the sale, and all the proceeds of the sale shall be kept by the Honorable Sheriff in an interest-bearing account pending the conclusion of the Commission of Inquiry or order further of the court. 4. The livestock marketing agencies shall assist the sheriff in the valuation of the livestock. No further orders.
All right, thank you very much. Let's now come and discuss.
Sorry,
Apologies.
the witness was not speaking on the mic. I don't know if you,
Okay, if you can repeat what. Okay.
that exactly.
All right.
Okay.
Justice TABALLY, you can move the mic
Okay.
towards the end.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
All right.
The Honorable Sheriff of the Gambia is ordered to conduct the sale of, and all the proceeds of the sale shall be kept by the Honorable Sheriff in an interest-bearing account, pending conclusion and determination of the inquiry or further orders of the court. 4. The livestock marketing agency shall assist the sheriff in the valuation of the livestock.
All right. And now let's talk about paragraph 4.
Yes.
The court states the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency shall assist the sheriff in the valuation of the livestock.
Yes.
After the former Registrar General, Mr. Jallo, brought this order to your attention,
Yes.
and perhaps maybe you obtained a copy of the order because it's part of your file records. Was the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency contacted by the Office of the Sheriff to communicate contents of this order?
It We did not communicate directly with him, but I believe at the time Mr. Alujalo had indicated that he was working with, he had contacted them all the time.
All right, so Mr. Alujalo told you that he was going to contact
He had indicated that he had already communicated to them.
to the livestock marketing agency.
Marketing, yeah. Or engage them anyway. Sorry.
All right, before we get into more about the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency, why was Mr. Alujalo, as Registrar General, so involved in this order and just the entire processes that followed this order?
It's usually a practice, an applicant of the subject order who, at whose instance it is issued, normally present it and facilitate the implementation, because it sometimes, often it requires expenses to be borne by the applicant and so forth. So Mr. Jallo in this case presented it and then assisted us even to identify the sites where this subject of the sales were to be found. And I remember he said he had even contacted the armies in charge of the various livestock on site to identify, to assist. So that's why he brought this to our attention, and he was the one who facilitated all this movement. This is a very exceptional case. We have never dealt with a livestock sale of, in my tenure as sheriff, I have never dealt with it.
In over 4 years of being the sheriff of the High Court, you've never dealt with the sale of livestock?
No.
Is this why the office of the sheriff relied upon or just conceded to Mr. Alujalo being involved in this entire process?
Yes, definitely, yeah. And we believe he was working at the instance of the applicant, that's the Attorney General, and the interest of the state. We allowed him to facilitate the execution of this particular order.
Justice Tabali, paragraph 4
Yes.
here,
Yes.
actually, in the entire ruling,
Yes.
there's nowhere the court stated that the Attorney General's chambers or any of its officials is supposed to take part in the disposal or sale of the livestock.
I did not imply that it is derived from
I know that. I'm continuing.
Yes.
I'm not stopping there.
Okay.
So my issue here is that the court was very definitive in its order.
Yes.
It said the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency shall assist the sheriff in the valuation of the livestock. The court was very clear that before the livestock was to be sold, a valuation exercise must take place.
Yes.
And the valuation exercise was supposed to be done by the Office of the Sheriff and the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency. So therefore, why is it that the Office of the Sheriff did not contact the agency to inform them of the order and also tell them that they are supposed to carry out an exercise jointly with the sheriff?
Like I said before, Mr. Jallo told us that he had engaged livestock, but it might have been an oversight on the part of the sheriff that we did not ensure that there was a valuation report before the sale itself.
So you're agreeing with me that it's an anomaly for a court to order for something to be carried out
Specifically, and you don't.
and then you don't carry it out?
Yes, yes. I accept responsibility for that.
Okay. All right. right, so now that is out of the way. After this order was delivered and the Gilmer, the livestock marketing agency, was not involved in the valuation exercise, how and when did the Office of the Sheriff conduct a valuation exercise, and who aided the Office of the Sheriff or assisted the Office of the Sheriff to conduct this valuation exercise?
There was no valuation conducted by the sheriff. Like I said, this is an exception. I have never dealt with livestock before. Even assuming that we were,
please continue.
Even assuming that there was a valuation, it would have presented us a challenge, given the nature of the livestock concerned here. If suppose like they were not well taken care of, or they had depreciated in value at the time of sale, and there was a time gap between the valuation and the sale itself, it would have presented us with a challenge that we would not be able to realize proceeds as per the valuation. So that would have been a challenge. So, but to be honest, there was no valuation. We did not carry out any valuation, and I accept responsibility for that.
Not carrying out, actually not contacting the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency to bring them in for valuation, and not carrying out a valuation exercise before proceeding to sell the livestock.
Yes. I will refer you to, sorry, can I refer you to my statements?
We will get to your statement.
Okay.
I just want us to, this is what will lead us into your statement actually.
Okay.
I just wanted us to discuss the order a little bit and then we can get into a statement.
Okay.
Yes. So, Justice TABALLY, by the Office of the Sheriff, led by you,
Yes.
not conducting a valuation exercise is essentially in violation of the court order.
I agree.
You also stated that it would be, is it difficult, is the word you use, to value the livestock?
Yes.
Is this because the Office of the Sheriff does not have the expertise or the capacity to conduct such a valuation exercise?
We don't have both capacity and the expertise to carry out sales of livestock, in all honesty.
Valuation and sale, even sale. When this occurred, or when this came to the attention of the office, did it occur to you at any point in time before conducting sale to perhaps maybe inform the court of the gaps when it came to expertise that the Office of the Sheriff was faced with before carrying out the exercise at all?
No, we did not contact for that particular challenge we had.
All right. Did you not deem it necessary to inform the court about the challenges that the office was facing? Perhaps maybe the court would have been able to vary its order or find other means?
Yes, circumstances, that would be the usual practice that we would have done.
in a sense, are you saying that this circumstance was not normal?
Yes, because at the time, the urgency of the situation, I refer you back to my statement, like the reason why I said that at the time when this thing was, I had personal issues, I was away from the office, so I merely endorsed the sale to take place, but I was essentially away from the office.
At the time, there was a deputy sheriff.
There was a deputy sheriff.
So why didn't you just delegate to the deputy sheriff so that he or she could have executed the order of the High Court to the letter?
I believe when this order was even issued, I was away from the office. I was merely informed by telephone. I said they let them do the needful, those who were present. But even though when I came subsequently, I saw the order.
So you authorized the execution of an order that you did not read?
No, I said I
You
endorsed.
said you were away,
Yeah.
and you were called on the telephone and informed that there is an order,
Order.
and you endorsed and said carry out, or those that were on the ground to carry out.
Ordinarily, they said.
Let me
Yes,
finish.
okay.
You were called and you were informed about the order.
Yes.
And then you were away for personal reasons and could not come to the office to take a look at the order. So therefore you said, let them do the needful with regards to the order. But you were aware that this order was in relation to a suit filed by the Attorney General against the former president,
Yes.
isn't it?
Yes.
All right. So my issue here is that you endorsed the execution of an order that you did not read. Essentially, that's what you're saying. You are not in the office, so you don't even know the content of the order. So you gave the go-ahead to the people that were around or available at the office to carry out an order that you did not read.
Yes.
That is very serious. You'd agree with me, isn't it?
I take responsibility for that. Yes.
Very well. So, can you kindly explain to the court that in an instance where a court makes an order, a ruling, or even a judgment that is in relation with where the office of the sheriff should conduct sale, be it movable or be it immovable assets, right? Right now, let's just put the issue of cattle sale to the back of our minds. Let's say the office of the sheriff is selling furniture, or it's selling maybe plumbing equipment, or even land, immovable assets, right?
Yes.
What is the procedure that the office of the sheriff would take when it receives notice of a judgment or an order of the High Court or any other court to execute said order?
If it is a monetary judgment, the properties belonging,
Please continue.
the properties identified to belong to the judgment debtor, who as pointed by or identified by the judgment creditor, would be attached ordinarily. In case of immovable, it would be for a specific period, and the judgment debtor would be put on notice that your property so and so had been attached pursuant to a judgment, and it would be sold after an expiry of a particular period.
Okay.
The same will happen in the case of movable. Movable normally essentially is 7 days, but for immovable, that is respect to landed properties, for 90 days. So the judgment debtor or the owner of the property, whoever it is, would be put on notice that your property would be sold after the expiry of this particular period of time.
All right. In this instance, it is movable property,
Yeah.
livestock.
Yes.
Therefore, 7 days to be attached.
No, there is no
So
need.
7 days notice will be given. Is it?
No. There's a difference because
Okay. What is the 7 days for?
the 7 days is in respect of enforcement of monetary judgment.
Okay.
This is not a monetary judgment. These are perishable that the court ordered that before they all perish, you sell and deposit the proceeds in an interest-bearing account. There is no need to attach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this instance, how many days did it take after the delivery of the order or the ruling
Yes.
and the sale? When did the sale commence? What's the difference in dates?
The court can, depending on the order of the court, if the court said there is no timeline here when we are to sell, but bearing in mind that they are perishable, the sheriff can even move in immediately to preserve and sell. And because if you don't do that, they will all perish. If they all perish, then it will be futile. The order would not be implemented as envisaged.
Very well. You've always stated that when it comes to immovable property,
Yes.
the judgment debtor,
Yes.
or let's say the defendant, would be given notice.
Yes.
Okay. In this instance, there's a defendant in this suit.
Yes.
Was he at any point given notice that his goods or his livestock was going to be sold?
No, I don't think there will be no need to notify him in this instance, because that would even defeat the purpose of the order. Because if they are perishable, what stops him from being put on notice from taking away, carrying away all these assets that are supposed to be preserved, the proceeds to be preserved before they all perish?
Okay. So after the ruling was delivered, and you instructed your team or your staff to do the needful.
Yes.
By the way, sorry, before I continue that, are sales conducted by the Office of the Sheriff advertised?
Normally, in normal sheriff sale, all sales are advertised.
All sales are advertised?
Yes.
Okay. And in this instance, was this one advertised by the sheriff?
This one, like I said, I'm not aware of any advertisement being carried out.
Wasn't this sale supposed to be?
Because, like I said before, if you had to advertise, you are essentially putting the parties who had custody of in notice. They may have disappeared with the assets, and that's the need for. That's the need that was the basis for the application.
Justice Tabally, before the order of 3rd January 2018,
Yes.
there was already an order of the High Court
Yes.
that vested custody and control of all assets of the president or the former president under the custody and control of the Registrar General at the time,
Yes.
or the Registrar General's department. And for livestock, it was vested in the custody and control of the Gambia Livestock Marketing Agency. So to say that the sale cannot be advertised, because if it is advertised, then whoever has custody might go away with the order. It's a bit concerning for me, because in essence, how will the sheriff be able to conduct sale without notification to buyers? Or did the sheriff inform people it knew to come to the sale? How does the sheriff expect people to show up on the day of sale if there is no advertisement?
Generally, advertisement is only required to attract buyers. But I said an advertisement generally is carried out to attract potential buyers or to bidders for the subject of the sale of the property that is been to be auctioned. But there are times, I forgot to mention it, there are times when a court may specifically give provision, what they call private treaty provision, where even the creditor is at liberty to solicit his own buyer and then present it to the sheriff. Those are the instances where that can happen.
Yes, but for in instances like that, it is the court that orders it.
Yes.
Right? But in this instance, the High Court did not order that.
I'm not saying that they order. Yes.
Yes, so for me now, my concern is that the sheriff decided to act on the orders of the High Court on 3rd January 2018, but the sheriff has decided that the sale was not going to be advertised. You've given a reason, but for me, maybe explain the rationale very well to the committee, but for me, it's very concerning that the sheriff would decide to sell Livestock, the number is large,
Yes.
and then choose not to advertise, is that not even against the rules of the High Court to conduct sale without advertising?
I'm not quite sure about the provision of the Sheriff's Act which requires advertisement, but I know in case of landed properties, there is a requirement to be advertised. And even in some immovable properties. I agree that advertisement is required in sales to be conducted by the sheriff of office of the sheriff.
Justice Tabali, why, if you know that all sales must be advertised, except in instances where the High Court or any court specifically states in its judgment or order that the sale can be done privately, why was this not done?
Like I said, it's either an oversight or an error on the part of the office of the sheriff, and myself as the sheriff, I take responsibility for that.
We are now having quite the number of oversights,
Yeah.
are we not? All right. Chair, I believe this is a convenient point to take a break.
Indeed, indeed. I think we need to go for a break, for a long break, and come back at 4 p.m.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Meeting adjourned till 4 p.m. Thank you. Yes, Mr. Tabali, you're on this for now. You can.